Hello and welcome to another 2-triangle build video. My name is Geezer, and in this series we look at making interesting, secure, or just unusual designs made entirely out of triangles, especially 2-triangle designs. Okay, to start the build we're going to set a couple of triangle foundations as far down to the ground as they will go. So to the casual observer it will just look like, you know, raised foundations, although it'll be pretty obvious if they come close and do an inspection. And we're gonna make the TC compartment in one of the triangles, and as per usual with our builds, what we do is we make the compartment with space for a furnace as well. So if you set the triangle this way, you'll have some guidelines for the TC. First, set a wall so that we can know how far back the TC will go without going outside the boundaries, and just stand back. It's going to go sort of in the middle, push it over to the right a little bit. And then we want to have a furnace. So you can put a furnace on a triangle, even though you have a TC and a single doorway in here. What you're going to want to do is set the TC down first and then put the furnace, small furnace, in the middle. And once you got it showing blue here, you're going to want to go back as far as you can go, and then you're going to cheat towards the right just a little bit. It's got to be enough so that you can still place that wall, okay? And if you have to place it once or twice, that's okay. I would try with twig first when you're building these walls, and make sure that when you're standing there it's not going to interfere with the placement as well. So that looks pretty good on that side. And now we're just going to have to put the roof tile on the ceiling and close this in and make sure that we've left ourselves enough space for both the doorway and, more importantly, the door. So even if you are able to get the door frame placed, sometimes the door will not place. That's perfect, and there we have our TC compartment. So eventually you can make all of this metal. I'd start off, if you got some, just put the bottom metal to start. You're going to have 2 sheet metal doors here to start, and that would be, you know, about 4 rockets, or if they're using Explo, it's a little bit cheaper, which would be the same cost as here. So upgrading this can be a tactical decision. So if you make it sheet, then they will have a much cheaper time going through the doors. If you do have traps and things like that, and you want to force them through the doors, that can be an easy and affordable way to make a slight security upgrade to this base. Obviously, until we expand it to a 3rd triangle, we're not going to be able to get more than 2 doors into this base footprint. And now let's progress. We're going to put down the bag next. So first of all, I'd put down this side piece here, and then we're going to want to get our sleeping bag down before adding anything else. This is the trickiest part of this base design, where we're putting a shop front here, because the shop front is slightly larger in profile than a regular wall. So the sleeping bag can go right close to the edge, sort of here, whereas if you put it in the same place on this side where we're going to put the shop front will not place. So kind of anywhere around here looks good, and then just check to see if you can place it. If it looks like that, then that's okay. You can redeploy the sleeping bag as often as you want, and then just move it back a tiny bit, a couple of pixels, and then that is set. And now we will make sure that we can get the shop front into the frame, and that's the toughest part of this build done. Here, let's try to make it so the slightly bulkier side is pointing out. And put the roof piece in, and now we're going to place the doorway here, the single doorway. Let's make sure we can place that metal door. And so I tend to like either a furnace or a barbecue. Look at this. And after you place something like this that's really bulky, what you want to make sure is that you can actually move around. So this is a pretty awkward placement here, but it's really the only place that it'll go. So when you spawn here, it's possible that you'll be stuck. So that's another reason you may want to put a barbecue right here. But hey, if it's going to let us put another furnace there, in my opinion, that is, it's an advantage in this build. So I would definitely stick with that. I'm not sure if we can fit a barbecue, it looks too small, but we can probably fit a small box. And now let's see. So in terms of what else you could fit in here, you'd probably fit another barbecue in here, and campfire, and or a campfire. Let's try to jump up on here. Let's see what we can place. You still have to be able to loot the back one there. So pretty quickly, I think it becomes beneficial just to have less. So like that. 1, 2, 3. And can we loot this top box here? Yeah, okay. I think that's okay. So coming up here, we can look out the window. We have an airlock. You can crouch down here. It's going to be slightly more awkward if you have a furnace here in order to get up and down. So that's something to think about. If you have a barbecue here, you'll be able to crouch and use this space to defend yourself better if this is a shopfront. If this is a stone wall, you can do whatever you want in this space in terms of putting this furnace right in the corner and have freedom of movement to crouch beneath this half wall. It's just something to think about. Obviously, you can just be up on top of here and you've got an airlock and you can, you know, have a functional space. So that's probably still the more optimal setup. So there really isn't much else to tell you about this design. You know, the next thing that we would look at is how to expand it. So again, I'd probably keep these 2 walls wood if I was planning to expand it. So I think that's the next video that I'm going to do, and we'll look at expanding a 2 triangle base into a 3 triangle base for the purposes of having, you know, a little bit of durability. So if everything's upgraded to stone and you've got the metal doors, then you're looking at 282 stone and 60 metal frags. So when you're looking at the smallest space possible, I would say you're thinking about resources first and protecting yourself from door campers and grubs. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.